Welcome to ET Now Startup Central, India's first and only daily show dedicated to startups and entrepreneurship. I'm Chandrashekharan and I'm coming to you live from the entrepreneurial city of Chennai that also happens to be my hometown.
I'm Krishna Kumar coming to you live, but this time from ET Now's New Delhi studios. First up, I check on all that's making headlines here at ET Now Startup Central. Flipkart veterans Mukesh Bansals and Ankit Nagori team up to launch a new venture after exit a few weeks back. An exclusive interview with Ankit Nagori coming up. India's largest software company TCS wants a bigger pie of startups as part of its digital push. TCS CEO N Chandrashekharan talks exclusively to ET Now Startup Central. It's an all-out war between Ola and Uber. A day after Uber moved court, Ola hits back, rubbishing Uber's claims. On our segment, Budding Star, we feature Chennai-based online jewelry platform Caratlane.com and its founder, Mithun Sancheti. And it's Friday. Well, it is the last day of the week, so it's showbiz time, a freewheeling chat with actor Varun Dhawan and his startup investment.
Straight to our top story then. Now, Mukesh Bansal and Ankit Nagori, two high-profile executives who quit Flipkart a few weeks back, set to unveil their new venture, and they are doing it today on ET Now Startup Central. It's my pleasure to have Ankit Nagori, the former Chief Business Officer of Flipkart, joining us on the show today to really tell us about this new venture. Ankit, straight off the bat, tell us what the name of the startup is going to be. It'll have you and Mukesh, and what areas is going to look at.
Thanks for calling me Chandra. Chandra, I think we don't have a name yet, and we just announced this venture. It will be a sports fitness health venture. The current market in all of these industries is very, very fragmented, and there's an opportunity to really organize and aggregate the market. So it's very, very early days to give out any details. We're still figuring it out. But yes, me and Mukesh together are working on the sports fitness and health market.
All right, Ankit, this is Krishna coming to you from ET Now's Delhi studios. I want to ask you about the founding team of this brand new venture. Take us through the details of the team. Apart from Mukesh and you, who else?
So it's me and Mukesh right now. So both me and Mukesh have worked together in the past. We have a great chemistry, and I think in the next few weeks we'll start figuring out a technology team. For any tech venture, having a technology team on board is very important. So that's the next step for us, figuring out a name for ourselves and hiring some technology guys.
Ankit, when you quit Flipkart, the statement said that Sachin and Binny Bansal of Flipkart will be funding your new venture. So in that sense, tell us if they are one of the first investors to come on board, and who are the other investors. I'm sure it wasn't difficult attracting investment considering the pedigree of the founding team.
So right now, actually, we're not looking to seek any funds. Both me and Mukesh have pulled in $5 million to start this venture. So it will be self-funded for now. And as and when we find a need to go out to meet investors, we'll do that. But right now, me and Mukesh are pulling in money to start this.
Ankit, tell us, you mentioned about sports fitness, but give us some details on what this will entail. Will it be an app to track individual data, or say an aggregator model?
Right. So if you look at the sports and fitness market, right, so there are a ton of facilities in the country, a lot of people who go for coaching, there are people who play against each other, but all of that is very fragmented. It's very difficult to, find a good facility, find a player whom you can play against, find a good referee, good coach, etc. So the idea is to be able to organize all of this, and obviously, app could be one way of, letting people discover all of this, but maybe not the only way. So in sports and fitness both, you can create communities where people can, come together, play, inspire each other, nudge each other. So that's the starting hypothesis for us. On healthcare side, I think it's a very, very large industry. By 2020, it will be north of $200 billion. And right now, I think there are a lot of people trying to solve small problems or big problems, but in a very fragmented way. I think there's an opportunity to end-to-end solve healthcare through capturing data about every individual, nudging them to be healthier through tests or visits through preventive checkups and all. Preventive checkups do not exist in India at all. So there's a lot to be done right now. As I said earlier, the early days. Just the size of the problem, the impact it can create is very, very inspirational for us. And between health, sports and fitness, it will be like 7 to 8% of all GDP spends in the country by 2020. And I think there's an opportunity to really disrupt that using technology.
Ankit, you have to tell us how the conversation really started between Mukesh and you. Did it happen at perhaps the water coolers in Flipkart? And also, was it some common passion that both of you shared, perhaps sport fitness or health? What was it that brought both of you together? Because there were rumors that perhaps you're teaming up with Bansals to spin off something. So how did this really work out?
So, yeah, I don't know the rumor you're talking about me and Binny doing it together, but definitely I have been very passionate about sports in general. And when I was leaving Flipkart, the idea was to start a pure sports and talent development kind of venture. And Mukesh, we all know, is a very, very fitness enthusiast kind of a person. And we've had multiple conversations, and we figured out that there is a lot of synergy between sports, fitness, and eventually healthcare. Sports and fitness provides a beautiful segue to healthcare. And yeah, we've had multiple conversations. We realized that obviously we've had a great working relationship together at Flipkart, and so that comfort level was there, but also passion towards the overall idea of impacting millions of lives in the country through sports, fitness, healthcare is there. So yeah, multiple things came together for us to come together and work on this idea.
All right, Ankit, talk to us about your USP or unique selling point. How different are you from your rivals? Many of them startups who operate in the space that you've chosen to venture into.
So I think the current market is very fragmented. There are a few startups, few companies who are trying to really aggregate things, build good stuff. But I think in this industry we're just scratching the surface. So right now the competition, I would not even worry about the competition. All of the current players are doing a great job. I think there is an opportunity to create your own brand in this segment, and the more the number of players in this segment, I think the better it will be for the overall ecosystem. The ecosystem is very, very small right now. It can grow massively over the next 5-10 years, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to create some decent impact. So the secret sauce will be like using technology to scale this up, right? So obviously anything which needs to be scaled using technology. So if you're able to crack that bit, I think we'll do some good stuff in this sector.
Finally, Ankit, take us through the timeline, for the formal launch. Have you already kicked off operations, product ideation? Take us through the timeline that this will entail.
So I think the product launch would still could be like 6 to 9 months away. So we just we'll in starting April we'll start really brainstorming, and start iterations on what could be the possible use cases, etc. As I said, the first step towards the kicking off the operations would be to get a technology team on board. So next few weeks we'll figure out how to do that, while we also figure out other formalities around name, registration, so on and so forth. So yeah, so April is I think a good time frame for us to start formally with a registered company, and also being able to attract some technology talent.
Ankit Nagori, thank you so much for talking to ET Now Startup Central, and we'll be tracking your startup closely to really see the progress that it's making. Krishna, you have a story from India's biggest e-commerce company, and I believe the next one's going to be about India's biggest software company.
Absolutely, Chandra. TCS is betting big on digital to drive the company's future growth. In fact, the company is set to overshoot the $5 billion revenue target that it set for itself by 2020 from the digital space. And that's the word coming in from none other than the CEO and Managing Director, N Chandrashekharan, in an exclusive chat with us, in fact with me, at the company's brand new Digital Experience Center in Mumbai. He spoke about the company's startup strategy and how they don't need a dedicated startup fund for it like other IT majors. Take a look.
Over the last few years, we have been making significant investments in terms of equipping ourselves to be able to partner with customers to reimagine the future. So this space is created to serve multiple purposes. First is, it's a space in which we're able to showcase how we have been able to reimagine customer successes, which are business process changes, business model changes, new channels, new products and services. We have been able to come up jointly for our customers.
What kind of investments does your digital strategy entail? More importantly, in terms of the targets that you've set for yourself, what is the kind of investments that you're looking at?
I think we look at our investments in 4 or 5 different themes. The first one is investment in our talent, tools, and the learning infrastructure.
Okay.
So we have created one of the most sophisticated digital learning platforms, which goes by the principle of experience rich. Okay. The second one is in terms of our next generation delivery model. Okay. Because in a digital world, everything has to be agile. Because software drives features, which essentially means the go to market has to be speeded up. So we have built development centers, workspaces, design spaces. The third one is building our own intellectual property. We have built 3 types of intellectual property. One is technology based intellectual property. Second one is digital platforms for several horizontal functions, whether it's HR, whether it's procurement, or finance and accounting, or education assessments, and so on. The third one is domain-led. Drug discovery, or digital merchandising, or digital store operations, and so on and so forth, and in all kinds of industries, from banking to manufacturing, across the board. And the fourth one is centers like this, which are ideation spaces, which are spaces in which people can live through.
Okay.
We track close to 1,400 startups as of today, and that number keeps changing. And then we shortlist what kind of technologies they have, how they will contribute to the solutions we are building in solving an industry problem or a customer problem, etc. And then we kind of engage with those startups.
2 big exclusive voices on ET Now Startup Central, Krishna. But up next is a very exciting fight that's playing out in the cab aggregation space. And it's really an all-out war between Uber and Ola. Because a day after Uber moved the Delhi High Court against Ola over allegations of malpractice in business, Ola has hit back today, rubbishing those charges. And listening to this interview that Ola Senior Director for Marketing Anand Subramanian gave to my colleague Krishanu Mukherjee in Delhi in what is the latest twist to this saga.
We've given an opportunity for all drivers who were, on the diesel platform to get onto CNG over the last 6 months. We've created a lot of options for them, ensured that they have financiers available. In fact, the last 5 days to the Ola Pragati Mahotsav, 6,000 of these drivers have been able to move on from diesel to CNG, giving away their old cars at a fair valuation. We've almost quadrupled it to 26,000 vehicles on CNG now, right? And it is important that, as a company, we are able to adhere to local regulations. We understand them and we adhere to them.
There has been a lawsuit filed against you in court by Uber. What do you have to say about that? They've alleged that you have made false bookings on their platforms and cancelled them after that, as much as 4 lakh bookings. What do you have to say about that?
Like we have appraised the court yesterday, as well as issued our statement in public, we deny all of this in its entirety. We speculate that this could be an instant reaction of the contempt petition that we have filed against Uber, and we also can imagine the fact that there has been a lot of setbacks that the company has been having across the country in terms of Uber vehicle seizures across different cities in the country, and it is not beyond our imagination to assume that both of these have something in common.
Your petition against Uber is about them using diesel vehicles in India, in Delhi, despite the regulations to not use them. Would you tell me on record that you have no diesel vehicles in Delhi?
Within Delhi, we don't operate any diesel vehicles. All of our demand within Delhi is met using CNG. 100% of our demand within Delhi is met using CNG, and with effect 31st, 100% of our demand within NCR will be met using CNG, right? And that is exactly what we're preparing for.
Right, but why is this measure only for Delhi NCR? If Ola is so concerned about the environment and green technology, why only NCR? Why not pan-India?
Sure. So, for instance, Bombay is another city where we are rapidly ramping up CNG. More importantly, it is about a question of the CNG infrastructure that is available. Delhi NCR as a state has been able to ramp up CNG infrastructure in terms of fueling, in terms of car manufacturers, etc.
Last question. I'd have to pull you back to the court case because, it's big news. So the thing is that you've been given 14 days to submit your reply. You told me that Ola feels that this is in reaction to your lawsuit file. Is this going to feature in your reply to the court?
Too early to talk about it. I wouldn't talk about it because it's sub judice. We made our statement clear and we hold by it.
Away from the cab aggregator fight to India's first e-commerce IPO, Chandra, from Infibeam again, which has been fully subscribed at close. The issue opened with a price band of 360 rupees to 432 rupees a share. Management spoke to ET Now, Vishal Mehta, the managing director, and said that the response was good from all categories of investors, and that too near the upper end of the price band. The company that had 7.2 million active users as of March 2015 operates 13 logistics centers across 12 cities in India.
And we're in Chennai, Krishna. Therefore, our budding star today is none other than Caratlane, an online jewelry platform based here. We caught up with its founder and CEO, Mithun Sacheti, who is betting big on its omni-channel business model and scaling up offline presence. We spoke to him on the sidelines of the Jaguar Ritz Entrepreneurship Summit right here in Chennai. Let's listen into that conversation.
Our strategy of offline started off as early as 2011. We were always building ourselves to be an omni-channel business. We do believe consumers discover jewelry online, which is very similar to what they'll discover every other category online. The point of any category is distribution should be widespread, and whether you're online or offline, you're providing more choices for consumer to transact with you. And if you look at the pattern of where our consumer is, the online consumer spends about 2 weekends in a mall in a month, and with that strategy I think it makes a lot of sense for us to be offline as well in the malls.
Right. Take us through how you've been capitalized, and if you are in the market for more funds for your investment going forward.
We're fairly well capitalized. We're not in the market looking for money at all. We're frugal with the way we spend our money. We're not a very aggressive category to spend money on. Tiger Global is our partner who we work with, and they've never allowed anybody else to enter our business as well. And we have a great relationship with them, and I'm sure if we ever need it, which we hope we don't, they will always be there to support us.
Right. In terms of the goals that you're charting out over the next couple of quarters, what are you really going to focus on? That too in a market where government has made it unattractive to acquire jewelry, to buy gold. How are you going about this?
Actually, I don't think government does any role to make jewelry unattractive. What they do is for bullion as such, where they say that, don't hoard it. And I think that category is not who we address. We address the working people, and we address people who are trading out of means which are legitimately obtained. Government's interaction is not to stop all of that. Government wants to stop black money, and I don't think that has anything to do with the category we play with at all.
In terms of the goals that you have over the next 2 quarters to really, ensure that Caratlane goes to the next big level or gains in momentum or is accessible in most cities, what kind of goals are you working?
I don't think, the goals are for the year. They're not for the 2 quarters as such, because that's more in that's more for the public limited companies that they would have quarter-on-quarter goals, and we're lucky we're not there right now. The goals for the year really is to establish ourselves in markets where we've identified ourselves to be strong, which is Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and we continue to charter our courses with opening more stores in these places.
So then we are nearing the long weekend. It is a Wednesday, but we here at Startup Central are treating this as a Friday because it is the last working day as far as this week is concerned. So it is showbiz time over here. I caught up with actor Varun Dhawan and quizzed him on his engagement with startups. And I started off by asking him about his Bollywood career so far and what he's up to at this point in time. Take a look.
It actually has been, and you describe it quite well. Life starts moving really fast. I think it's like a cycle, and you got to keep on pedaling, and you got to keep on going. And in fact, when you stop, or if you have a break, it feels weird at that time. So I had a couple of days off, and it just felt a little strange, because I'm not shooting anymore. I'm prepping for my next and stuff like that. So that feels a little weird.
You've been hearing, you've been hearing about the startup boom, and then the other Startup India policy, etc., etc. What is Varun Dhawan's engagement with startups?
I totally believe in them. I totally think that they need to be encouraged. I think as an investment, if you get in early, that's the best way to do something, because you're investing on the get-go, you get a percentage in it or something. It's the best way to kind of... what I did here, Ronnie Screwwala supports a bunch of startups and he does fund some of them. I know that the Tatas do something like that as well. I know that the Ambanis have something like that as well. So I think it's very encouraged if a lot of the industrialists can help out, because I think new ideas and innovations are the way for a new India.
What about you? How does Varun Dhawan like to invest his money? How do you like to invest your money? Would you like to come in as an investor in a startup, like an idea, if somebody were to pitch it for you?
Definitely, 100%. So please take this as an opportunity. If anyone's watching this, that please come pitch me an idea, and I think if it's good, I would love to get into it. There are some that I am going over at the moment.
Wow.
There are some I'm probably already involved in, but they're not public knowledge, because I'd rather be a silent partner in these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think the idea is not only to be there as a face or to just add commercial value, but the idea is even there that you can use your mind and contribute sometimes. So that's important.
Yeah. Also, do you like reading news about the business world, economy? How much mind space does it take up your Varun Dhawan?
No, definitely. I think it's very important as an Indian, that you do know the current economy, you do know about investments, you do know about what's... I think the first thing that you learn about economy, I think a country does well economically if they have a stable government, a stable political environment. So I think that's the most important thing, because your FDIs will improve then and stuff like that.
Wow.
Listen, I'm actually a business student. Very few people know about this. I'm actually a proper...
You are student of the year, Varun Dhawan. Everybody knows.
No, so I obviously did study economy. No, all jokes aside, I need to brush up about that. But my dad is really in tune about that. And so he keeps telling me about stuff and all that stuff. And also, I get updates and I have people who take care of that also.
Big star you are. Other people have to come and give you updates.
Wealth managers, we call them.
Wealth managers, you said. All right, Varun, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to ET Now Startup Central.
Thank you so much.
Krishna, if startups want to pitch to Varun Dhawan, they'll have to come to you for access, so please help them. But on that note, we come to the final segment of the day, Number Crunch. And the number we are crunching for you today is 100%. Because according to a lot of websites, that's the success rate of India against Bangladesh in that much awaited T20 match today. Now, I just wish they don't disappoint us, that there is no anti-climax, because that win is certainly going to make up everyone's weekend. And do remember, it's a long weekend.
Absolutely, 100% is a fantastic number looking at going into that all-important match, Chandra. But good to see that you're in Chennai and catching up with all the hottest startups in Chennai. But with that, I'm afraid we have to wrap things up here on this edition of ET Now Startup Central. Thank you so much for watching. But keep watching ET Now, don't go anywhere. Coming up next is Market Watch.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.